Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. And happy Christmas Eve, everyone. Let's begin. First up, hiker killed after being struck in the head by falling ice. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
Well, a tragic afternoon in Hart's location today where a 57-year-old woman died after being hit by a falling piece of ice while hiking the Frankenstein Cliff Trail. Fish and Game say the woman from Wellesley, Massachusetts was with a group of about 10 people, including her husband and sons, when she was struck in the head with the ice. She, her husband, and another member of their group were physicians. They and volunteers administered CPR as they carried her down to the trailhead, but authorities say her injuries were too severe.
It's a tragedy, especially this time. It's a tragedy any time of year, but especially hits hard. I'm sure it will hit the family hard this time of year. People go into the mountains, and you don't expect these kinds of things to happen. It's the last thing anybody expects to happen.
And authorities believe the warm weather recently loosened up the ice and caused it to fall.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Officials identify man found stabbed to death in Hillsborough. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
Charisse and Mike, the Attorney General's office has identified that victim as Brett Wilson. Now, the 51-year-old was found dead after police were called to 25 Old Henniker Road, Unit 1, just before 3 o'clock Saturday morning. Investigators say Wilson was stabbed to death. Now, it doesn't appear that he lives at the home. Officials say his last known residence is in the Elkins community of New London. Right now, no word on an arrest or any possible suspects, but the Attorney General's office says people who live in the neighborhood do not need to worry. Police believe they have identified all parties involved, and they say right now it doesn't appear that there is a threat to the general public. However, there are still some missing pieces to this puzzle, so the Attorney General's office is asking anyone who may have any information on Wilson's activities within the past couple of days to give them a call. We're live here in Hillsborough. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Barnstead police hand out toys to kids as part of Operation Santa Claus. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
A happy day here at Barnstead Town Hall. The police department giving families the opportunity to meet Santa and, of course, get a few presents.
I got a Moana blanket.
What's your favorite thing?
The thunder tumbler.
Happy to show off their new gifts, kids of all sizes met Santa in Barnstead today. From babies trying to nestle in the big man's arms to little kids gazing at St. Nick and their toys with amazement. Of course, some were a little shy, but others not so much. What did you think of meeting Santa?
I love it.
The Barnstead Police Department hosting Operation Santa Claus for the third straight year, an effort to collect toys from the community and give them directly to Barnstead children.
The response has been overwhelming. I would say this is Operation Santa Claus on 2.0 this year.
While kids met Santa, police officers doubled as elves in back rooms, working to make sure each child got something special.
The officers love doing it. We've developed great partnerships in the community, and it really makes the job all worthwhile.
Moms and dads took pictures and reflected on what today's event means to them.
There's so much support and there's so much love for such a small town. I'm blown away, honestly.
It helps a lot. It helps a lot.
While everyone was happy, there's one lively gift 7-year-old Caden is still hoping to find under the tree at home.
What do you want from Santa this year?
I wanted a puppy,
A puppy? Overall, a successful day here. Every kid walked away with multiple gifts and a smile. In Barnstead, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire Indonesians community thinking of family back home after tsunami. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
It is very difficult for my church.
Reverend Sandra Ponto has become somewhat of a shoulder to lean on for her congregation at the Maranatha Indonesian United Church of Christ in Madbury, where parishioners felt hopeless as they tried to reach family back home.
When something happens, something bad happens, tsunami or earthquake or anything like that happen, it will be hard for us to get in touch with family back home. So yes, it's very frustrating.
Annie Wahuningsi's brother and sister-in-law live just about 20 minutes from where the tsunami hit. She called them this morning when she first got word, but there was no answer.
So in my mind was thinking, oh, something happened with my brother.
Eventually, she was able to reach them.
Thanks God, everything was okay with my brother, my sister, and all my family.
Annie's brother told her the tsunami left behind a path of devastation.
The water is just blew up. It's just, it blew everything away.
The destructive wave bringing back terrible memories of tsunamis that area of the world has seen before.
We remember about what happened in 2004, 2006 in Aceh, and we don't want, of course, to face that again.
And Reverend Ponto says her church has received an outpouring of support from the surrounding community.
I know that we're not alone. There are churches, pastors, and friends who are praying for the Indonesians.
And although her family is safe, Annie knows the danger is not over yet.
Just help us pray, God give hand, not happen again.
In Madbury, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market is doing right now. And it will be closing at 1 p.m. today. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you right now. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq is in the red and went down. S&P 500 is in the red and went down. Gold is in the green and up. Oil is in the red and down. US 10-year is in the red and down. Euro/USD is in the green and went up. And VIX is in the green and up. Again, the stock market in New York Stock Exchange closes at 1 p.m. today. Dow drops 500 points, S&P 500 on the cups of a bear market. U.S. stocks fell again on Monday, pushing the S&P 500 to the cups of a bear market. The New York NASDAQ closes early on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The exchange is closed for Tuesday, Christmas Day. Dow Jones plummets after Martian comments on banks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average traded sharply lower Monday after U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin shocked investors worldwide over the weekend by tweeting that he had spoken to the CEOs of the 6 largest U.S. banks to assure they were liquid. And now let's take a look at our NORAD Track Santa tracker and see where Santa is currently flying in the world right now. And here's a look at our Santa tracker, the NORAD Santa tracker. And last seen is this location. Next location is going to be in Russia in 40 seconds. And this is how many gifts he delivered so far. And we will have a link of the Santa tracker on the Riley King Network Facebook page. If you want to take a look and watch it yourselves, you can. And that does it for our special afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast. There will be no evening broadcast this evening. We will be off this evening for Christmas Eve and to spend time with family. And we'll be back bright and early in the morning for our morning broadcast and then off the rest of the day tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas Eve, everyone, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our Christmas Day broadcast. Goodbye, everyone.